Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bachelor Nation News fans. Monday's night episode begins to bring Matt James' dramatic season to a close. Fans know this season has been filled with drama, so a few more surprises and drama would be pretty fitting. And as if things couldn't get any crazier for Matt, his estranged father comes to Nemekalen to see him. If the previews are accurate, Matt is for an emotional ride. Matt James faces father in an emotional reunion. People shared all about Matt's surprise meeting with his father, or at least many are assuming it's a surprise. Even reality Steve believes he probably wasn't aware production got his dad to come. However, whether or not that is true will be determined Monday night. Fans who have followed Matt's journey know his mom is his everything. He even posted a Happy Father's Day message to her this past June. And Matt admits his father not being around and seeing his parents' failed marriage holds him back from commitment. The previews indicate Matt will finally face his father, whom he believes was never there for him. Their conversation could become very heated. Matt tells him, "When I needed you, you weren't there." His dad said, "Do you know what I went through with your mom?" Matt fires back, telling him not to make excuses. His dad reminds him nobody is perfect. Following his deep conversation with his father, Matt breaks down. Reality Steve said he believes this is the part where Matt sits on the curb, and Chris Harrison asks him if he's okay. In a confessional, Matt says doesn't want to make the same mistakes that tore his family apart. Matt gets the chance to talk to his mom after all this. She tells him love is not the end-all, be-all. What else to expect from the episode? Monday night will also bring the fantasy suite dates. Matt will be going on dates with Bray Springs, Michelle Young, and Rachel Kirkconnell. There are not a lot of details about what goes down on their dates, or who accepts the fantasy suite key. However, fans who want to know what happens during the last two episodes click here. It's been an emotional ride for Matt and the women, and the off-camera controversy has been intense as well. Rachel Kirkconnell and Chris Harrison have both been under fire for racist actions. Both have apologized. However, it's still unclear if Chris will be returning as host. Don't miss the last 2 weeks of The Bachelor, Monday nights on NEVAR on camera. It was the moment fans never thought would happen, not just in real life, but definitely not on national television. During his historic run as the first black lead on The Bachelor, Matt James opened the door to his personal struggles in a way few others had. But nothing was more raw, more jaw-dropping, and more emotional than the day cameras rolled on an unexpected reunion. Matt James coming face to face with his estranged father. What started as a chance at love turned into something deeper, something that peeled back the layers of a man the world thought they knew. But what really happened between Matt and his father? Why did producers choose that moment to orchestrate a reunion? And has anything truly changed since the cameras stopped rolling? We tracked down sources close to production, rewatched that unforgettable episode, and spoke to people who were there. What we uncovered was not just a Bachelor bombshell. It was a story of pain, reconciliation, and a decision that changed Matt's life forever. Chapter 1. Matt's silent struggle. The father to disappeared. Before Matt James was handing out roses, before he was a fan favorite and Dancing with the Stars contestant, he was just a kid growing up in North Carolina, raised by a single mom, Patty James. He spoke often about how his mother sacrificed everything, working tirelessly to raise him and his brother, John. But he also revealed a gaping hole in his heart. His father, Manny, was not part of his upbringing. In early interviews, Matt danced around the topic, simply saying he didn't have a relationship with his dad. But as his Bachelor season unfolded and the fantasy suites approached, something shifted. Suddenly, the usually composed Matt James began breaking down in private confessionals. The weight of unspoken trauma was finally surfacing, and it became clear he couldn't fully commit to someone else until he faced his past. What Matt didn't know, Bachelor producers were already planning something bold. Chapter 2. The surprise reunion nobody saw coming. Not even Matt. According to insiders, Matt was told he'd be meeting with someone from his past for a personal growth conversation. He had no idea it would be his father, Manny, who hadn't been present for most of his life. Even longtime producers were reportedly divided on whether the decision was ethical. But when Manny James walked into that room, the tension was palpable. Fans watching at home remember it vividly. Matt's body stiffened. His breath caught in his chest. He muttered, "Wow," and sat frozen on the couch. It wasn't anger that filled the space. It was decades of disappointment, confusion, and unresolved grief. "You cheated on my mom," Matt said, his voice trembling. "You weren't there for me." What followed wasn't a yelling match. It was worse. It was raw, quiet devastation. Matt held back tears as he tried to articulate a lifetime of questions. His father, meanwhile, struggled to explain why he disappeared, citing a cycle of generational pain, his own broken childhood, and yes, his own regrets. Chapter 3. America Re-ACTS, Praise, Basikilash, and a Cultural Moment. The episode drew one of the largest audiences of the season, and with it came a tidal wave of reactions. On one side, some fans praised the vulnerability. "This is what healing looks like," one tweeted. "Matt is breaking generational curses on national TV." But others were deeply uncomfortable. Critics accused the show of exploiting Black pain for ratings. "This reunion should have never been aired," wrote one viewer. "Matt deserves privacy." Rachel Lindsay, the franchise's first Black bachelorette, echoed those sentiments. "There's a way to have these conversations without making them TV spectacle," she said on her podcast. That was not it. And yet, in the middle of it all, Matt James stayed silent. For weeks, he refused to speak about what happened in that room. That is, until after the final Rose special. Chapter 4. I needed it. Matt finally says out. Sitting across from Emmanuel Acho, Matt finally opened up. "That conversation wasn't easy," he admitted, "but I needed it." He revealed that while he didn't ask producers to bring his dad, he wasn't angry they did. "It forced me to confront something I'd been avoiding my whole life." Matt went on to say that he and Manny hadn't spoken much since the taping, but that he hoped they would again in the future. "I want to believe in redemption. I want to believe people can change, but I also have to protect my peace." It was a sentiment that struck a chord with viewers. The idea that closure doesn't always come wrapped in a bow. Chapter 5. A year later, what really happened after the cameras left? After his season ended, Matt stepped back from the spotlight. He moved to New York with girlfriend Rachel Kirkconnell and focused on community work. But behind the scenes, something unexpected happened. According to sources close to Matt, he and his father began speaking again, slowly, cautiously, with boundaries. They started with short phone calls, the insider said. Then, over the holidays, they met up. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. In an Instagram post buried between fitness updates and charity events, Matt shared a throwback photo of himself as a child. In the caption, he wrote, "Not every chapter starts the way you want it to, but sometimes you still get to rewrite the ending." Fans immediately flooded the comments. "Are you and your dad in a better place?" one asked. Matt didn't reply, but a few weeks later, he posted a photo that answered it all, a candid shot of him and his father eating lunch together in Harlem. Chapter 6. The private apology that changed EV writing. What Matt never shared on camera was the private apology that came months after their reunion. In a handwritten letter, Manny told Matt, "I was not the man you needed, and I can't go back in time, but I can be here now. I am sorry for every birthday I missed, for every game I didn't show up to, for leaving your mother to carry the weight alone. I was wrong." Matt was reportedly moved to tears. For the first time, the words he waited his whole life to hear, "I'm sorry," were real. And they didn't come from a producer's script. They came from a father trying, even if late, to be better. Chapter ZVN. How the reunion changed Matt's relationships forever. Friends close to Matt say the reunion didn't just impact his relationship with his father, it changed how he showed up in every relationship. One source said, he started opening up more with Rachel. He talked about his fears, his insecurities. Before that moment, he kept people at a distance. Even Matt confirmed as much in a podcast appearance. When you don't have that example of what love looks like between your parents, it's hard to build it with someone else. But going through that, facing my dad, it cracked something open in me. Chapter 8. The Unfinished Journey. Where things stand today. So where do things stand between Matt and his father today? According to our most recent sources, they are still rebuilding. They aren't best friends. They don't talk every day, but they talk. There's no fantasy suite version of father-son healing, Matt reportedly joked to a friend. It's messy, but it's progress. In a rare moment of reflection, Manny James appeared on a podcast earlier this year and confirmed the growth. "My son gave me a chance I didn't deserve," he said, "and I thank God every day he did." Chapter 9. Matt's next chapter. Writing a book. Sharing his story. As of 2025, Matt is reportedly working on a memoir. The central theme? Fatherhood, forgiveness, and faith. Sources say the book will detail moments from his childhood never before shared, as well as his current efforts to mentor young men growing up without fathers. He wants to create the support system he didn't have, said one publishing insider. This isn't just about telling his story, it's about making sure other boys like him don't feel so alone. Chapter 10. I forgive you. The words that set him free. In the final moments of their filmed reunion, Matt said something fans still replay to this day. "I forgive you. I don't forget, but I forgive you." Those words, simple, quiet, powerful, became the foundation of everything that came next. Matt James didn't just find love on The Bachelor. He found a way to heal something broken long before the show ever began. And in doing so, he reminded all of us that the real roses aren't handed out on dates. They're earned through growth, vulnerability, and the courage to face what hurts most. EPIOGE. From reality star to real-life hero. Matt James' reunion with his father wasn't just a viral moment, it was a cultural shift. One that challenged norms about masculinity, fatherhood, and public healing. Today, Matt continues to speak at schools, churches, and events nationwide. His message? It's never too late to change your story. And for anyone watching who's ever been abandoned, let down, or left wondering why, Matt James is living proof that pain doesn't have to be the final chapter.